Guys, gals, and everything in between. Oh my god, I never thought I'd be able to talk about Breaking Bad on like a TV show again. And like do one of these discussion videos about a Breaking Bad topic, but you know, oh, Better Call Saul is here now. I couldn't believe it when this was announced. This was like, I was like, oh, it's a spinoff. Could be bad, but it could also be amazing because it's from the creators of Breaking Bad. It's the same people. And holy crap, guys, this show is fantastic. Okay, guys, so Better Call Saul, episode 1, basically, we see the genesis. But what I thought was really cool, they showed this black and white environment, and I was like, wait a minute. From my overly fandom of Breaking Bad, what in the world is this? And you see Saul, and he's got a mustache, and he looks really frightened and vulnerable. And then I realized the shirt is revealed. He's wearing Cinnabon. And I remember him saying that he was going to work in a Cinnabon somewhere up north. And I was like, this is after Breaking Bad. And you see this guy like staring at him. It was all really cool. And then, especially once you realize this is post Walter White and all of that stuff from Breaking Bad, which is really cool. That's all said and done. Then we flash back and we get this wonderfully comedic segment. And the wonderfully comedic segment was basically a court trial, and it's fantastic. Where he's defending him, he's throwing the rights at him, and you're like, okay, man, Saul, you got this. And then they reveal it's not. He's in his early on career, he's not quite fleshed out yet. This does have spoilers in it. If you guys were fans of my Breaking Bad videos, or if you are new to this channel, I like to do spoilers when I discuss television shows, because it's not necessarily a review, it's more like a discussion and analysis. What's gonna happen? But anyways, you've been warned. So, spoiler ahead, but then we get to see our first cameo. And our first cameo is Mike Ehrmantraut. And Mike Ehrmantraut was that fantastic hitman. He did a little bit of everything. And I saw him and I was like, you're so cool, I love you. And this was really the reunion. It was the high school reunion episode where we're going back to our old life in this New Mexico town with this style. We're going back to our old life. We get to see some people. Now, Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, of course, are not in this. That would, I feel, completely overshadow Saul Goodman. This is his show. I don't know if we're going to see Walter White or Jesse Pinkman in this show at all. I doubt it. But I've been wrong before. Okay, so we see him, Saul Goodman, he's down on his luck, and he finds this couple, and they're not really interested in what he wants because they believe they stole a couple $1 million. And Saul's like, well, you know, I can defend you. Come on. But Jimmy McGill is his name at this point. That throws me off all the time because they'll be like, hey, Jimmy. So I'm like, who is Oh, that's right. We see him do that, and then he's going along and he's struggling, and he's got a client, and they don't really allude to their backstory. I took it as he's related to this guy because he's Jimmy McGill for his law firm, and this guy is a McGill. I have a feeling that they're related, of course, with the last name. They have some kind of relation. I think it's his dad, but I can't tell for sure. And that guy from The Last Exorcism and Atlas Shrugged Part 2, you can tell he plays the villain, or at least some kind of a villain. He doesn't really want to be, though, and I thought that was really interesting. That he's kind of a good guy, but he's kind of a dick, so you can't really tell, and I like that. Saul, basically, you know, I thought it was really cool how he used his lawyering skills because all of a sudden his car is hit, and that's a wonderful surprise scene, by the way. Very thrilling, I thought. And all of a sudden he gets out of his car and he's playing the vulnerable part, and he's like, I can't. And I'm like, man, they're really playing up this he's vulnerable. And holy God, then all of a sudden he's like, well then this and this and this, I'm a lawyer and stuff, and I saw through this, and I was like, that's Saul Goodman. You're seeing this very tactical one, and he's going about his life, and he realizes that why doesn't he do a scam like this too on those rich folk? So getting those people together was amazing. And he got those two skateboarders to try and run a scam. And this is where my favorite part of the show happens. Of course, I'm pretty sure it's most people's favorite part of the show. Is where all of a sudden, boom, they're hit, they're following him, they're like, screw the lawyer, but, Saul decides to follow him anyway. And then we get him getting there, and the lady gets out of the car, and it's a Hispanic woman. She doesn't speak any English, and I was like, this seems way too coincidental. And then they go into the house, and nothing. You see nothing. And then Saul gets there. He's in a hurry. And Saul gets there, and then boom, you see a gun come out of the door, and you're like, oh, this just got real. This just got real. And boom, the reveal, I want to convey my excitement without screaming it to the heavens. It's Tuco! Yes, Tuco! Oh my god! They talked about cameos in Breaking Bad, and Mike Ehrmantraut was in the trailer. That was fine and dandy. But Tuco is here in a cameo. That is amazing, and yes, I'm throwing my limbs everywhere. But it's so cool to see these characters that you thought were so awesome in Breaking Bad. And Tuco traps him, basically is like, get in the house. And you're just like, Tuco! And now Saul Goodman goes in there, which means we're seeing the genesis. Saul Goodman, he wants to be an honest, good lawyer at this point. He's not a criminal defense lawyer. Which means it's almost like the Breaking Bad concept, just where it's this guy who wants an honest line of work, and he's slowly delving down. And I like seeing that. Guys, this episode is fantastic. We are back in the Breaking Bad world. Honestly, I sat down to watch this show, and I immediately had a smile on my face 10 seconds in, because it immediately had that Breaking Bad feel. I was back in the world, the universe. I felt like everything was how it should be. I felt like I was coming back home. I love Breaking Bad. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. If Better Call Saul continues to deliver like this, and there wasn't much going on in this episode, but if Better Call Saul continues to deliver like this, it could very well be up there with Breaking Bad. Like, partnered with Breaking Bad as one of my favorite shows of all time. I mean, seriously, I'm saying that as high a praise as I can. The filming is the same as Breaking Bad, but the story is different, and it's able to carry itself without Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, because it's got Saul Goodman. Saul Goodman was one of my favorite characters in Breaking Bad. I mean, there's Walter, Jesse, Saul. Those were my characters. And now we have Saul's story, and it just excites me for the future, because anything can happen, because we've established now with that beginning black and white clip, we've seen post Breaking Bad. Could there be a fallout to Breaking Bad that we see over the season? Is there, like in the past, what connections does Saul Goodman have with characters that we may not even think would have connections with him? So then we're going to see some of these characters from Breaking Bad return in cool ways, and that excites me. This show excites me for the expansion of the world that is Breaking Bad. Okay guys, what did you think of the first episode? I'm going to do this for all the episodes like I do all the TV shows I like to watch. So comment below, let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got plenty of videos coming to you. Hope you enjoyed it.